Hello and welcome to a new lesson in Linux. In this lesson we will learn how to allow or deny shell access from specific IPs. First I will go to the shell configuration file and I will get to the bottom of the file. I prefer to type my rules in the end of the file. That's why I have made a line here by the name my rules, and here I will add my rule. I will get in the insert mode and I will type allow users and then star at type an IP's number and I will get out of the insert mode. And by this rule here I have made it that I will not allow any user to access shell from a different IP than this one over here. Users can only access shell by this IP. Now I will save it, WQ, and I will restart the shell. And then restart and press enter. As you see, it have restarted successfully. Now let's try to access shell with a different user with a different IP. As you see here, I have my IP ends with 11, unlike the rule it ends with 15. So I will try to access shell with another user that has a different IP. And press here on open. I will type the user's name. And now I'm waiting for the password. I will type the password. Press enter. And as you see, it displayed for me access is denied because I'm trying to access shell with a different IP than the one we have added in the rule. Now let's see, there's another thing that we can do with this rule. I will get into the file one more time. Now from this rule here, I can add a specific user that can access shell with any other IP. If I add here torque and then at 192.168.1. This means that the user torque can access shell with any other IP in the same range but ends with any other number. If you don't want it in the same range, you want it, for example, he can access shell with any IP from any range, you will just type the user's name and then a star, but I will keep it at the same range. And I will save. Now I will try to access shell again with the same user torque, but first I will restart the shell. As you see, the shell is restarted. Now let's try to access shell again from the same user torque. And open. Here I'll type torque. And I will wait for the password. I will type the password now. Press enter. As you see, it logged in successfully after we have specified the user torque to access shell from any other IP. And now we have seen how to allow an IP or deny an IP and make specific user to access shell with any other IP. There is another method or another way that you can allow or deny IPs, and it will be from a different file which will have a name vi sorry, the vi I'm opening it will have the name etc hosts dot allow. And when you get into this file, you will scroll down, get in the insert mode first, and in here I will type, but first I will delete this hash, and I will type sshd, then the IP's number, and then two dots, and then allow. Press enter. sshd all, then two dots, and then deny. Now what we have did here is that we have made the rule that any user can access shell with this IP only, like the previous one that we have did in the configuration file. And by this rule here, all deny that any other IP different than this one, it will be denied. Of course, you can change it or switch it. For example, if I type here IP and in here I type all, this then will mean that it will allow all IPs to access shell except this IP over here, but I will leave it as I have did it before. But here, unlike the configuration file, you can't specify a user to access shell from a different IP. From here you can only allow or deny IPs from accessing or denying it from access. And from here, the SSHD, this is the service's name. You can type here whatever service you want, and this is the range of IPs, and here is the action, and we have only two actions here, allow or deny. So I will save now, press escape, then save. And unlike the configuration file too, in here you don't have to restart the shell to save your changes. Now I will try to access shell from the user torque. And open. As you see here, it displayed for me an error message, server unexpectedly closed network connection, and that's because I'm trying to access shell with a different IP than the one that we have did in the rule. The one in the rule is 15, and the IP I'm trying to access from here is 11. That's why it did not access, and it will display this error message. Let's get back to the file one more time, and this time I will give it access. I will change the number here from 15 to 11 and save. Open the shell one more time. Open. Now I'll type the name. And as you see here, it's successfully logged in. If I type the password, it will go in because I have accessed shell with the IP and I have changed the rule back in the file. And by that we have learned how to manage IPs and how to manage access shell from a dedicated IP or a given IP. Thank you for watching, and see you in the next lesson.